Today I am doing my report on 3 articles about Ayurveda, which is a spiritual medicine practice. I will be discussing the spiritual healing aspects of Ayurvedic medicine as it pertains to nutrition and dietetics, which is my particular focus of the health professions. So Ayurveda is one of the most prominent types of CAM, which is complementary alternative medicine. So Ayurveda is an alternative system of medicine with roots in ancient India. The word Ayurveda is Sanskrit for science of life. Ancient Indians believe that when we are ill, it is due to our chakras not being aligned. Chakras are centers of energy in our bodies, like circles, that correspond to different nerves and organs. So chapter 13 of our spirituality and patient care textbook elaborated, and it said that Ayurvedic medicine believes the science results from an imbalance in Vata, which means wind, Pitta, which is bile, and Kapha, which means mucus. Ayurvedic healers assist in returning Vata, Pitta, and Kapha back into balance in the body, resulting in cure of illness. Ayurvedic practitioners use a holistic approach with the purpose of balancing body, mind, and spirit. India recognizes Ayurveda as a homeopathic medicine that is equal to Western medicine. And even here in the US, there are Ayurvedic schools that provide certifications, and it's commonly practiced in the form of acupuncture. So studies have been done to see if the Ayurvedic healthcare practices had an effect on particular diseases and or general well-being. I chose 3 different types of studies that used Ayurveda as the focal point. One was a prospective cohort study from California where an intervention was given, a retrospective study from Sweden with a questionnaire, and then a prospective cohort study from Arizona, and that one was experimental. So the studies had in common spiritual practicing of swasthya vrita, which means attaining well-being. What this entailed was basically purification, nutrition, and other lifestyle changes. Also yoga, massages, and acupuncture were the treatments that they were given. So in this clinical trial, they collected prospective data for 4 months on a cohort of 27 participants with breast cancer. So the criteria were the patients had no active cancer at the time of the study, but they did have chemo in the past year for stages 1, 2, or 3. And the average age of the participants was 47. So they saw an Ayurvedic practitioner 8 times within a 4-month period. And of the spiritual Ayurvedic interventions, it was nutrition and lifestyle that were rated the highest in participant feedback. While this certainly did not cure the cancer in any of the participants, there was a very noticeable tolerance of symptoms and mental well-being. So using spiritual care to help patients manage their symptoms is a good option, as the study supports. For chronic and terminal illnesses such as cancer that have no known cure, you can still improve quality of life. Simply making the patients more comfortable is important because the mind is one with the body. And my takeaway from this study was that psychological and emotional comfort can improve symptoms. So in this next study, they gathered retrospective data on 55 participants who were clients at one facility in Sweden. There was no further criteria for participants, but it is important to note that at this particular facility, they happened to find a mostly female clientele with an average age of 47, just like the last study. There was no intervention because they had already been seeing an Ayurvedic practitioner on their own. The approach was mainly to interview them and record any findings about it and how it contributed to their health. So a portion of the participants were given a questionnaire that asked why they sought Ayurvedic healthcare and what their experiences were. I found it interesting that for 64% of the participants, the main reasons were like their specific illnesses and health concerns they had in regards to blood, lymph, lungs, skin, muscles, bones and joints. The treatment was either in combination with Western medicine or as a last resort after Western medicine had failed them. Some clients reported physical improvements to their symptoms, and others simply had positive experiences with the treatment, and that gave them hope. Since a number of clients used additional healthcare interventions, there was no way to determine whether the improvements were specific to Ayurveda and not the other confounding variables. Sorry, I'm a little sick. Modern medicine finds a lot of challenges in effective treatment, providing equal access to healthcare, and implementations of equity in the standard of care provided. So it comes as no surprise that scientists are now researching alternative medicines of treatment and becoming more open to the possibilities of alternative medicine for some cases. Even the World Health Organization encourages the use of traditional medicine. And my takeaway from this one is that it can be safe and effective to try incorporating it into our health and culture, body, mind, and spirit. It would be very inspiring to see more people include all of these aspects of our health in medicine. They are not mutually exclusive, but you cannot affect either one of these without affecting the other two. This last study was one that I found very fascinating. The purpose was to find the effects of yoga and Ayurveda on weight loss, which, unlike the other studies, it's a more concrete measure of results. Over the period of 3 months, the 12 study participants were given the interventions, which were yoga, personalized diet plans with an Ayurvedic practitioner, and they saw them twice a month. So next, their BMI and other body measurements were recorded in contrast with the measurements taken prior to the study. In the 3 months, participants lost an average of 3.5 kilograms. In a follow-up study for another 6 months after the intervention, the average weight loss increased to 5.9 kilograms. And lastly, the researchers also noted psychological improvements, even though that wasn't initially what they were focused on. The participants stated that they found Ayurvedic care to be easier, which makes them more likely to continue the regimens in their real life. So this is why, long after the study, their weight continued to decrease. The participants could actually continue the practices they learned in the experiment to obtain long-term benefits. Yoga and diet can really have an effect on one's mind-body connection. So overall, Ayurveda was found to be a safe and affordable alternative to the more conventional and Western approach to fitness and weight loss. Yoga is widely promoted as a personalized and innovative treatment for obesity and it is associated illnesses, like heart disease, cancer, stuff like that. What Ayurveda did was to combine this practice with a clean diet and mindfulness for a whole person quality of healthcare. And the studies found both qualitative and quantitative results. So that's my presentation. Thank you for watching.